Hey YouTube, it's Mike Peng Gangster, and today I'm bringing you guys the Foot Nightly Update. Now, you probably guys wondering in the thumbnail, why is Renato Sanches there? I will explain in a couple of minutes. Before we do get into that, let's just look at some of the leaks that Foot Sheriff has right here. And I'm also going to answer some of the comments for people that don't know. I've been doing the Foot Nightly Update every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And then what I do every beginning of pretty much every episode, I look at a few of the comments of the last episode, and I'm gonna answer them directly on the video, so you guys get to like be a bit of interaction with you guys in the videos, right? So that if you guys are interested, make sure to leave a comment in this video here for the next episode that will be Wednesday night, right? So one of the leaks that we have from Foot Cherries here, of course, this is a prediction. So what you're seeing here is not exactly what the card should look like because we don't know. But we have the Eero Gomez, right? We also have another one. It's Sergey Dartar, which he looks pretty good. Again, remember stat prediction. Stats are predictions, so these are not the real stats. We don't know. They could be real stats, but we don't know yet. These are predicted, right? Again, these look like pretty decent cards. I like this one. I like the Gomez one too. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know exactly when these are coming out. If they're coming out tomorrow or during the week sometime, or maybe the next week for Team Two. I don't know. The reason why I have Renato Sanches there is because this promo, okay, we ended up getting Alexi Sanchez. Now, if you guys remember correctly, in one of my videos, the showdown one, this one right here, I said FIFA 23 crazy new leaks last chance for fodder investments, right? This is when before I made my all that money with the fodder, right? If you look good in that thumbnail, there's Alexis Sanchez versus Renato Sanchez as the showdown leak, okay, which didn't come out. It ended up being something else. But that leak was on the Foot Sheriff account, which is not there no more. It was removed because I guess it was a mistake. But what I found extremely strange is that when this promo came out, Team 1, we ended up having Alexis Sanchez in the promo. So, since there's two teams, I kind of figured that maybe there's a possibility that we're going to see in Team 2 Renato Sanchez. I could be completely wrong. This is just me basically talking out of my ass here. I'm just, like predicting there's a possibility. So don't be mad if it doesn't happen. But I'm just taking a guess here. I have a feeling there's a possibility we're gonna see Renato Sanchez in Team Two. We'll see what happens. There are gonna be leaks throughout the week, and we're gonna end up seeing if those are true, right? Of course, the next episode will be Wednesday. So by Wednesday, I'll see if we see something. So sometimes by Wednesday we get some pretty decent leaks already. So we'll see what happens on that day, right? Of course, let's just get into the comments real quick before we look at the prices of the RTTFs, because I'm sure a lot of people are invested in RTTFs and want to know what's happening and what to do. And what to do is simple. You have to sell, but we'll see which ones you have to sell. So the last episode, of course, by the way, if you guys want to see a video that I just posted not too long ago, I ended up packing tradable team of the week Messi on my secondary account, which is kind of funny because for some reason new accounts seem to have better luck than old accounts. Let me tell you, because on that account I played 3 weekend leagues and I already have like almost 2 million coins on that account of pulls. I pulled an icon, I pulled team of the week Messi, which is almost like impossible to pull apparently, and other stuff, right? What's happening here? I do apologize for that. So we have Big Body Miyagi, if I'm saying that correctly. He says the matches for the upgrade start upgrading from the 17, which is annoying and kind of kills the promo and a little bit. Okay, so yes, that's for the new promo. The matches only start from the 17 on and up, right? So there's a lot of players that won't be getting upgrade until then, right? Of course, you can't get upgraded until then because nobody plays nobody's game counts until that day, right? So a lot of people are most likely only gonna get one upgrade from the end of March, from the middle of March until the end of March, because a lot of people are also only playing like 1 or 2 games at the end of April, so they don't even have enough chances to actually only get like more than 1 or 2 upgrades, right? So yeah, that is a bit annoying, but it's just the way it is. You have to understand that it gives us time to make money with the RTTFs and then get involved with those ones, right? So it's kind of a good thing if you're an investor in this game, right? But yeah, I do get your point though. We also have from Ashra Zaman, if I'm saying that correctly. I do apologize if I'm butchering names. I'm just bad at this. Nice video. Now I do high budget trades. I got 8 million coins, bought Martinelli, 7 of him at 1.75 million. I'm going to take a risk because Arsenal are playing easy opponents next round, and it'll be the first win Arsenal, and Martinelli will get double upgrade. I think during after the win of the match it will be 1.8 million. That's his prediction, okay? I'm not exactly sure how much he is right now, but I just want to I'm kind of curious to actually see where he's at. I kind of want to see where he's at. My thing is freezing. I do apologize for that. I kind of want to see because he paid 1.75, so I kind of want to see how much he's at. I don't think he's. I think he went up. I think he's close to 1.2 million if I'm correct. I did check him before, but let me just check real quick. I'm kind of curious to see. 1.8 million though. I don't know about that, but he's definitely. You're definitely making money on him. That's for sure. He's definitely went up for the 1.75. Let me see. Yeah, so he's almost 1.2 million, most likely around 1.2 million. So you are going to make money off him for sure. Hopefully Arsenal does win, so your card goes to 1.8 million. I don't think 1.8 million, but hey man, anything is possible. That we have Patriot 1088. Is there any better fullbacks than Team of the Year Cole and Cancelo? My team is untradeable, so I can't sell them. Well, those are two very good fullbacks. So it depends. I mean, I don't know what your team is looking like. There's a lot of good fullbacks this year. Like I'm using Alfonso Davis and I'm loving him. There's also, for example, like the centering Alexander Arnold. That's amazing. There's a lot of good. There's Cafu, the icon. There's Captain Villa that a lot of people are going crazy for. Like even the you don't have to get the new one. You could also get like is regular one. It's still very good. Or of course is World Cup one, which is very amazing and stuff like that. So there's a lot of them. Wouldn't be sure what to tell you because I don't know what your team is looking like. But there's a lot of good ones this year. There's a lot of good fullbacks this year. Then we have Pita 5831. Go for Felipe Anderson. Lazio are strong. Okay, so I did end up buying a Felipe Anderson. I ended up getting mine for around 83k. And hopefully Lazio does continue doing well. So we'll see what happens. For people that don't know what the matches are looking up, so for example, on March 7, when it comes to the Europa Conference League, we have matchups on the 7th and the 9th. So on the 7th, we have Lazio versus Alkmaar. And on the 9th, we have a lot of matches, like a lot of the pretty much all the other cards, right? So if you are invested in any of these teams' cards, okay, that could be upgradable. Starting from tomorrow, Lazio and I don't know if there's any Alkmaar players, but I know Lazio there's Felipe Anderson, right? You're going to have to be selling um, either tonight or tomorrow in the morning before the match, right? No matter what the prices are, we're going to look at the prices just to look to see real quick where Felipe Anderson is at. But these are cards you're going to have to get rid of them before the matchup because keeping these cards during the matchup are very risky and most likely is going to cost you a lot of coins if they don't win, right? So let's just look at Felipe Anderson real quick and see where he's at if I could find them. So he's right here. I ended up buying mine for 83,000, which I don't know if he went up, but we're going to see right now. I did buy him earlier today. He's still 83k. Can this card go to 90 plus thousand? It could. If you would get 90,000 for this card, let's say he goes for 90,000. What will be the income? You will get after tax 85.5. So if you're getting him for under 83, you are making over 2,000 coins profit. Of course, I would recommend people getting him for 80,000. Is there a possibility that overnight before tomorrow morning he goes to 90k? There's a possibility. Like I said, I paid 83 for mine. I'm gonna see if he goes up. If he doesn't go up by the end of the tomorrow morning, I'm just gonna sell mine for whatever it is. If there's profit or not, it doesn't really matter. I took my chance, right? So we'll see what happens there. Of course, there are also other matches up. For example, on the ninth, we have cards that I invested in. There's none right here, but I didn't invest in no cards from these guys. But I do have a big matchup. Actually, that's on the ninth, so that's not the one I'm looking at. I'm looking at Champions League. Tomorrow, there's a big matchup with Chelsea and Dortmund. So I do have two cards here that I'm paying attention very, very carefully. Of course, Fofana and Malen, right? So Dortmund is doing Dortmund. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. Uh, Chelsea are struggling a little bit, so we'll see what happens there. We don't know who's gonna win. I know Dortmund won the first matchup 1-0, I think, but it's still very everything's up for grabs. 1-0 don't mean nothing, right? The next game is going to determine who's going through, right? So I ended up buying mine for like the 230s. He's at 258 at the moment. Would I recommend people buying this card at the moment? Is there a possibility that he goes to 300k by tomorrow morning? I don't know, man. It doesn't look like it. If you could snipe him for under 240, which would be very difficult to do right now, you could probably make some money off him. But I just don't see this card going to 300k because he's been like slowly going up all week long, and even after we're so close to the matchup, he still hasn't risen to what I expected him to rise. Now, is there still a possibility of him going 300k? I just don't believe it, but there's a possibility. I just don't believe it. I think that 270 makes a lot of sense, but anything over 270 is basically like a gift. So we'll see what happens there. Malin is a card that you continue still trying to snipe. I still believe he's a card that could go over 130k by tomorrow morning during the matchup. You know what I mean? So there's still some sort of profit with Malin, depending how close he is from 130. I think he's like low 120s, if I'm sure. Like he's 120, okay? So if the card goes for 130, which I'm lucky, I paid mine 103. But let's say, for example, I think this card could go to 130, right? So if he goes to 130,000 by tomorrow morning, of course, if you're getting him at 120 exactly at the cost right now, you're getting 3,500 per card, right? Of course, I would recommend trying to snipe it on 115, so you make like 8,000 coins per card. But I believe you could go to 130. That's what I predict he's gonna go to 130, and after that, I would like just sell, sell, sell. If you want to take a chance, try sniping him at 115. You should be making profit on this card. But then again, remember to sell before the matchup. Now that matchup there is at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you're selling these cards before, because then either he goes up or he goes down. You don't want to be involved, right? Because you're basically taking a chance. Most of the other matches, I know there's also matches coming up on the March 9th, which is Wednesday. Um, Now I did invest in a few cards here. There's some I invested in the right back. Is it the right back or the left back? The Spanish guy, right? Yeah, it's the Spanish guy. Just to see his price real quick. I don't think he's gone up. I know I have Lamela also, which I have invested in. But what's that left back guy? I forgot his name. I forgot his name. Miranda. That's it. So Miranda, I got him for like low 70s, and right now he is going for. Please tell me like 80, 74. So he still hasn't risen much at all. But then again, there's still 2 days before that matchup, so there's a possibility he still goes to 90 plus thousand that I'm hoping that he goes for, but we'll see what I. And then there's also Lamella that I invested in, which he was also. I paid like low 40s, like 40, 42,000 or something, and he's probably he's still sticking around at that price. Which this is a safe risk because he's an 88 rated, so he can't really drop that much. He could only his potential of dropping is very very minimal, but his potential of going up is pretty good because if he becomes an 89 rated card, you should easily go to the 50 60s easily. Is there potential this card in the next 2 days he goes over 50k? So if you're sniping him at 40,000, you're making some pretty nice profit off him because, for example, if he sells at 50k, which is something that could happen very very easily, you're making 7,500 per card if you're sniping him at 40k. This is the type of card that I would buy a lot. Of course, I bought Barellas and Raspadores and stuff like that, but those guys are going to be next week, so I don't have no more coins to actually go all in on a card like this. But for example, if Fofana and Malin make me good profit tomorrow, because I do have two Fofanas and one Malin, I'm gonna jump into this guy right after the matchup and buy as many as I can low 40s because I do believe he could easily go 50 plus on Wednesday, right? So we'll see what happens there. So my personal advice to everybody right now is that whatever happens in the next few days, especially tomorrow for like the Dortmund and Chelsea match, make sure you're selling before the match. If you want to take a chance and you want to gamble and keep the card that you think is going to win, that's going to go through, there's good potential to make even money there. But there's also another thing that you could also look at, for example. Let's say, for example, you're not invested, okay? Tomorrow, one of the teams is going to lose, okay? So either Malin or Fofana is going to lose. Let's say Fofana loses. Fofana is a card that's going for almost 260k. If he loses, he's going to tank. If he tanks, he's going to drop very, very fast during the match or during the end of the match because people are going to be undercutting themselves, right? People are going to go crazy trying to sell him because they're scared of like losing all their money. That's actually a good potential time for you to actually snipe one at a very low price because most of the time when that happens, these guys they tank and then later on at night they go back up. So if you could recognize when he's at his lowest and snipe a couple at that point, you could actually make a lot of money doing that because most of the time, like I said, when this happens, they tank in one shot an hour before the end of the match, and then all of a sudden later on that night they go back up slowly, slowly because as an 87 center back French from Chelsea Premier League as a value to this game, right? So even if you wouldn't get an upgrade, he still has a potential value to be worth something in this game. So make sure if you're trying to do that, make sure you recognize what is lowest during the crash because that is a very good way to make money in a quick flip, right? But then again, it's also very hard to do if you're not experienced with like buying cards when they're at their lowest, like understanding the ups and downs of cards. So it's it's not something you should just like to get whatever you do whatever you want. I'm just telling you there's a potential of making money like that, but you do what you want, right? So anyways, we'll be back Wednesday night. We'll see what happens. You guys are gonna see the updated part of my account on that night with the full fine and whatever I have invested, right? We'll see what happens. Hopefully everything goes good and everybody makes money. We'll see. And see you guys Wednesday night. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye.